you know what exercises or stretches to do if you're not really accustomed to stretching or exercising, but you've got aches and pains, whether they're in your back, your pelvis, your shoulder, your neck, whatever it is? How can you be sure what to do? Well, of course, as a professional, my first piece of advice is always to go and get some professional help and advice. And if you want some more help and advice, you can of course come and see me. But the answer in general is to think about the anatomy of your body. If you imagine your body as a cocktail stick, so within a series of lots of little pulleys or rubber bands, it'll give you an idea as to what exercises are best at any given time. So, if you imagine your cocktail stick to be your bones, and those rubber bands to be the muscles or ligaments or connective tissues that pull the bones one way or the other, and of course that's how we move in everyday life. So, if you're pulling one side of the muscles or the rubber bands one way, the cocktail stick will move one way. And if you pull it the other way, the cocktail stick will move the other way. So if you're exercising and stretching, but you're only focusing on one side of the exercise, so if you're doing an imbalance routine, you can expect things to want to shift in one way. In a mechanical perspective, this means that you put weight and force through different structures within your body, and you can feel a few aches and pains. Of course, by leveling this up, you may actually want to start messing around with some of that mechanics to make sure it's nice and straight and level, or come and see a chiropractor because we can help with that too. But certainly, in terms of figuring out which exercises or at-home stretches you can do, or which postures are right for you even, think about what's working on with that cocktail stick. For most of us, modern day life is all about crunches, it's forward focused. So more times than not, we're giving exercises and stretches that bring you back and out to counterbalance it. Again, if you think about it, in order for us to crunch up, we're pulling things together. It's literally as if we've got some sellotape on our forehead and our knees and we're pulling ourselves together. So in just the same way as it would be anything else, if you want to try and change that, simply push the other side. Get it to come out with concertina the other way. And whilst this might not always be accurate, this advice, it gives you that general impression of what to do and how to do it. So, bringing my model up. When you have a pelvic bowl, for example, you have muscles that will bring the pelvis forward, and these include your quad muscles, so the muscles at the top of your leg. You've also on the other side got muscles, the hamstrings, that pull your pelvis under you. And these can be quite tight if you're slouching a lot, for example, and you can't really see me on the video, but they will be. So you can change the structure of this pelvis, at least temporarily, or at least exercise it or stretch it a little bit more, by getting on top of some of those muscles. If that's all a bit complicated for you, go and see a healthcare professional. We're here to help, and of course you can book in for an initial consultation and onboarding session here at Connective Chiropractic, and we'll go through that with you if you need to. But in general, think about that cocktail stick in the rubber band, work out if you're feeling a little bit imbalanced, which way you're going, and do stretches or exercises to build so you can make sure that that cocktail stick lies within the rubber band rather than is pulled off to one side at any one given time. I hope that analogy and metaphor wasn't too out there, but if you have any questions, feel free to write them below.